Welcome, ladies and gentlemen, to another edition of Detroit The Dark Reflection. Our scene tonight is beginning from the perspective of one Father Rex Dart. He has received a email from his sire. Recently, a bid has been made on a bishopric that Father Dart has single-handedly arranged for his sire to have the possibility to step into. It's been a few nights since that deal has been levied, and his sire, one Stephanie LaHeur, has set forth to her child a itinerary for her arrival. Rex, from your perspective, you're being told that your sire is arriving via how do I put this, a convoy. You are to expect a tour bus will be arriving in downtown Detroit. So you get the time and the place and the contact name of I'm sorry, Liz, what's your character's name again? Desdemona? Yes, Desdemona. To meet up with Desdemona is in Tosa. So how do you approach the situation?
Sorry.
Lawrence?
I guess I'm going to do my best to overlook that list and make shit happen. Throw whatever money and tools I can at it so I don't get staked and burned alive.
Yeah, your sire's message was kind of cryptic. She basically left you the message open-ended. But let's see, what would you have prepared for her? Let's say you've been given 8 hours notice.
Probably prepared the mansion, proper room, best room in the house. Made sure that there were plenty of herd so that she wouldn't have to do any effort or work in case things went wrong. Acquire whatever pyrotechnic displays, basic things like fireworks, clearing brush, bottle of dehydrated dairy cream.
Okay, and you're going to do this all. You're going to do this all within your Pax Haven.
Yes.
What you said? Okay. I'm guessing if you expend one point of your resources temporarily for the rest of the month, that'll cover the bill.
Sure thing.
Okay. So
I like not getting killed.
Yeah, that's fine. Okay. But again, your sire's expecting you to meet her downtown. This tour bus is arriving. Desdemona, what exactly is the name of your band, or are you just a self-titled artist?
Yeah, it was pretty much just like me as an individual. My stage name, and I guess like my celebrity name is Scarlet White. So it's like I'm the celebrity Scarlet White. It's not necessarily like my band per se.
Got you. Let me ask you. Assuming that Stephanie and Desdemona would want this under wraps, basically, how would you keep the media from haranguing you from the moment you step off the bus?
Well, I have this Donald Trump video. I imagine that would kind of take over the airwaves.
True, but there is social media. The kids who don't really care about politics and just love their rock stars.
perhaps it's possible for the bus to go into some sort of like underground garage where the public can't exactly gain access or see. So for all they know, like it drives into an underground garage
I do
where
have
we meet, and then we just leave in another undisclosed vehicle of some kind, or.
I do have police influence.
Okay.
And I guess like I could use my influence media to just like not have as many reporters as possible, I suppose.
Okay. I would say, Lawrence, why don't you roll your charisma and police influence,
Okay.
and Liz, why don't you roll your charisma and media influence?
Oh yes. Oh yes. Yes, that's good. Five is a nice number.
So I add my dots into influence to my dots in charisma.
Yes.
Oh, Liz,
What?
they can't see your roll. I think.
I haven't rolled it yet. But, oh wait, you're right. Okay, can you roll what is it, 9 dice for me, please?
Yes, sure.
Sure. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 9. Roll. And 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. You got 6 successes. I got 5 successes. So I think
Okay.
we're golden.
Okay. With the combination of your influences, you basically have hired some off-duty cops looking to make some, extra bucks on the side. Yeah, you've let them know that there is a VIP arriving in town, and Liz, from your perspective, you fed the media a false story that you're going to be appearing somewhere else outside of Detroit, just to throw them off, and they bought it. Maybe made up some fake pictures or something, or took some fake screenshots, like, "Oh, here I am in Miami."
Yeah, sounds good.
All right, so in the God, I gotta get names of places, but yes, in a Hilton Hotel parking garage is where your bus will stop, and the police will be on the outside perimeter. Father Dart, they already know you, so they expect you to be arriving. How are you gonna get there?
I'm going to arrive by limo because people like this tend to say it's only a few people and then it becomes a crowd.
Natural. Okay. So when you get to the parking garage, you'll see this tour bus. It's pretty big, and your estimation was right. Um, Liz, how many people did Desdemona bring along with her?
I guess I have like um I have some retainers who pretty much follow me around. It's like 5 like retainers who was just like kind of like my entourage, They're just kind of like, I guess, I don't know.
Okay, big question. Are they in the know of your true nature?
Yes. Yeah, they definitely are.
All right. So yeah. So Rex, when you arrive there, you'll see these stagehands. You'll be able to recognize the person that Stephanie pointed out, and as they open up the what's that part of the bus that holds all the luggage? You'll see that they're taking out a very large case. You could probably assume that you've seen how people do this. This is a coffin that your sire has. It doesn't look quite like a coffin, but it is the box that your sire's body is residing in.
I make sure to have the ghouls handle it and I stay in the car. That's not to appear like the help. It was a terrible first impression.
Mm-hmm. Steph, no, I'm sorry, not Steph. Desdemona, they're going to ask you if, well, they're going to look at the case and then Rex's limousine. They're just going to ask you, should we try to put it inside or should we open it now?
You can go ahead and try to put it inside.
I'm going to say, yeah, you know what, let me just roll a fate dice, see if you got the trunk space. What the hell was that? Oh. Yeah, you do. You got the trunk space. Okay. You'll slide it in.
Like butter.
Okay, so now, Rex, are you extending or are you extending a ride to Desdemona and her entourage?
I can't leave them behind. That would be improper. Of course, I'd have their help tend to her. Or Stephanie. There's so many people that need her.
Well, all right, I'll let you make your introductions to Desdemona, basically. The door will be open for Desdemona, and yeah, you and your entourage can climb inside.
Yeah, we just I guess pile in or whatever. Is Rex by himself in the limo, or does he have anyone with him?
Aside from your driver, who else would you have with you?
I'd have about 3 or 4 ghouls that are there just as help, moving things around. One of them is one of the old Marine ones, so he has a very short haircut.
Okay. All right, so this party, everyone's packed in. Where would you head next? Would you head back to your mansion?
Yes. So, who here is in charge until she awakens?
I guess that'd be me. I'm just smoking a cigarette and I smell slightly like I've been drinking for the past few hours, but I don't really appear intoxicated.
So, does everyone know of their condition?
Yeah, that's all clear.
Very good. I would hate my more bestial aspects to cause difficulty.
I must warn you that just even though they are knowledgeable, my entourage, they're not exactly used to the more graphic parts of the not so normal world, I guess you could call it.
They're giving you nods, Lawrence. Like, yeah, we got this. Yeah.
As you wish.
All right, so when you guys arrive back to the mansion, I'm pretty sure the first thing you're going to do is have Stephanie brought into a private chamber where you can unseal the coffin between those who need to be there. Am I right, or is there anything else you do in between?
Actually, I would have most of Stephanie's help waited and dined on the ground floor, and somewhere in the basement, I'd have my help make sure that Stephanie was Stephanie.
Mm-hmm. All right. So you pop open the coffin?
Yes.
Okay. Um, You saw her kind of like in there. It was very roomy inside there for her. She kind of had a book she was reading, and she'll give you her regard. Oh, my child! Finally, I can get the hell out of here. Oh, such space is hard on the bones. Where the hell are we?
We're at my personal abode. Thankfully, my ductus also has such inclinations of wealth.
She nods. This is a nice place you have. Very impressive. Detroit has been good to you.
We have made Detroit be good to us. It is normally unwilling of such things, but you will learn all this in time.
Let me make a proper introduction. Desdemona, this is my child Rex. Rex, this is Desdemona. She is my right-hand ghoul.
We spoke a little bit earlier, and I guess I like reach my hand out to like finally shake your hand.
I shake your hand. When I do, it almost seems like a dog trying to shake. It doesn't give me a call. This is someone who is completely human and knows how to do human interactions.
I think I forgot how to handshake. How do I do it? It's been so long.
Yes, because in this bottle we do our fist bumps. Let's see. I brought Desdemona along to help begin a transition. What I would like to see my own bishopric excel in, to create the sphere of influence for us. Rex, you are so good with numbers and sorts, and you clearly have your business acumen. I'm going to leave the task of managing Desdemona's affairs in your hands.
Thank you. I appreciate this test.
She has the quality of fame and star power, and your appreciation for discretion. I believe this would make for a very good match.
I look over at Desdemona.
We're a match made in heaven, sweetie. Or somewhere else.
From here on, Desdemona, treat Rex in the same manner as you would treat me.
Of course, Domitor.
So, has anything recently occurred since we last met, my child?
Well, better I show you than to try to put into words. Come, let us go into the viewing parlor.
Oh, by the way, Stephanie's kind of like dressed in how do I put this? She's just kind of down and comfy for the ride. You know, t-shirt and kind of tattered jeans, small leather jean jacket.
Everyone is dressed to the nines in this building, so every single one of the ghouls and herd are completely and utterly affluently dressed. So she stands out like a sorest of thumbs, almost like someone burnt off your thumb.
Yeah, look who's all hoity-toity now.
So I pop in the tape of last night and make sure that she gets a cup of blood before I sit down.
She'll thank you.
Please, you're a guest. You deserve the finest things.
Now, you said you're popping in a tape. A tape from where?
The Donald Trump incident.
Oh, okay. She's sipping the cup of blood, and she's viewing this thing. And let's see. She kind of gives a smirk. Mhm. It is funny, but I don't understand what was the purpose.
I don't either, to be honest. It seemed to have been more of a Mr. Toad's wild ride. But this was the Archbishop coming back. This is what he decided to do.
She raises an eyebrow. I can understand why you have such a lack of humor these days.
Yes, this is what you can come to expect in Detroit. Thorough confusion followed by massive losses of income.
Hmm. I couldn't see a place to start to disrupt politics of the town. But I haven't had any interest in American politics for a while. You tell me, Rex, in your opinion, what would be the best future for this city in the regard of its administrators?
They crave true stability, actual progress. No more of this lip service. No more empty promises. They've been strewn along enough. It's bad enough that their water is as lead-filled as the end of the Roman Empire. It's pathetic. They're in a state of it tugs away at your pathos to watch what happens to this city and its people. Because they are cheated not only by humans, but by all of the supernatural. No one is giving them what they need. And their wants are a far-flung dream, not even considered to be part of reality.
You see Stephanie turn to Desdemona. Now, don't you think that is a song you can write about?
Of course. I guess I just need to get more familiar with the situation firsthand to better understand what's going on here.
I wish to embrace the spirit of the city in my bishopric. These poor lambs, how they are lost and afraid. We should give them hope. We should lend aid to their suffering soul, so that they would see us as their hope.
There's distinct lack of bread in circuses.
That's a very good way to put it. Desdemona, when is your next scheduled show?
It's not for another week at least.
We should schedule some performance of yours and announce it as a charity drive to help better the. You said the water was contaminated, yes?
Yes, especially in one of the minor areas, Flint. Completely and utterly doused in lead.
Then that is something we should do. Do you have any contacts?
Contacts in
Oh, the type that like to seem as though they care. Hint, hint, high society.
Yes. Yes, I do have influences in the upper crust, the Gilded Cage.
Hmm. Are they people of infrastructure and industry, or just more famous people?
People who have grown fat from their families.
All the heir apparents of family fortunes. We should put them to work. Let them earn their daily bread.
That reminds me, I need to take you golfing with the others in Ashe.
Golfing.
For some reason, they have a golf course here.
Stephanie shrugs. She kind of looks surprised. Hmm. Do you think we can arrange a sit down tonight?
I don't see why not. It's a simple favor.
Um,
I waved to the other ghouls for the phone.
yeah, we'll get them on the line. Let's see. What's the rating of your high society influence?
It's only two.
Only two. All right. I'll let you make 3 rolls using well, whatever kind of tactic you want. How would you want to sell this idea to your contacts in the upper crust of the world? That might be a good idea to back this performance so they can put their name on it and such. How would you do that?
Probably through equal parts performance and charisma. Because I do not wish to lie to them. That never ends well when you lie to those equal to yourself financially. And using the utmost respect will hamstring their hesitation.
Mhm. Do you have any dots in finance?
No, that's what I have rules for.
Okay. Are most of your retainers still in Chicago? Well, your money-minded retainers.
Yes.
Okay.
There's only, well, yeah, most would be in Chicago.
Okay.
It would be too difficult for them to telemarket some work for me.
Okay. Let's see. Yeah, make me a charisma, leadership, and I'll also give you a charisma performance.
Okay. 8 dice on both. Charisma leadership. 10 is the umbrella one. 3 successes. And charisma performance. Always that 1 in there. 2 successes. So 5 total.
5 altogether. Okay. Basically, these backers, they like the idea. They think it's a good cause. Altogether combined, they're willing to go in like what would amount to basically 50-50 with you and your parties.
suppose I have little choice. Hmm. I guess I'll have to spend the temporary resources.
Well, you don't have to spend them just yet. Okay, so I'm gonna say maybe this takes about roughly close to an hour talking to different peoples. Like Rex is calling this one person, like, yeah, I'll call you back. Don't worry. um, but yeah, you bring that information to your sire. You have these donors there. Chillax Desdemona. Does she know anyone in Detroit? Someone that would be able to kind of like who would jump at the chance of having her band there? Oh, hey, Jason. I'm sorry. I had posted this in the player chat by mistake. I just got to run this scene for these two, but I'll be available to run a scene as soon as I'm done. So yeah, Liz, does anyone have that?
I do have an ally who is a councilman here in the city.
Okay, great. Let's see. Is he under your influence? Oh no, he's just an ally.
Right.
Let's see. Okay, I'm gonna say with that bid, you're basically bidding this action for the rest of the month. The councilman. And oh, I'm sorry. What's the rating on your allies?
I have a rating of 5.
Oh, well, Jesus Christ, this isn't just one person. All right. I'll say then. Yeah, I'll say through your allies, you can get a open. You can get like a permit at a park, so you don't have to necessarily spend money to run inside a venue. Getting a public space. They offer you a couple of locations of parks around the city. We can go over the map later.
Okay.
Yeah, so that'll reduce the cost. They they're going to ask if some of the funds could be diverted to the local public, just for jobs, temporary things like that.
Sure, definitely.
Yeah, like security detail, vendors, and that crap. So. All right. So now, Stephanie is going to say, no, I'm sorry, Liz. How would you tell that to Stephanie? Your accomplishment.
As far as like getting the councilman to give me a park and stuff, essentially.
Yeah.
I can arrange with a friend of mine. He's a councilman by the name of Greg Polczyk.
Great.
So he's a political figure, I suppose, but he's granted me a permit to have my have this event take place in a park. We can have some vendors, security, essentially taken care of through his assistance.
Splendid. So, we have the money. We have the go-ahead from the city. Now it's just about putting on the performance itself. I'm sure, Desdemona, that you can convince your fans to make a stop in Detroit, no?
Of course. Some of them can be pretty fanatical. I'm sure with the diversions I've had with the media that they're scrambling all over the place to find out where I am.
Let me just look at your character sheet. What do you got here? You have some interesting traits. Why don't you roll your roll your charisma expression? This is going to be basically your announcement. It doesn't have to necessarily happen tonight, but we'll get the roll out the way.
Sure. Lawrence, could you roll 6 dice for me? Uh, I have enchanting voice, so would that like reduce the difficulty with this?
Uh, okay, well that will be dependent on the medium that you're delivering your message. We could say it's a YouTube video.
Sure, that works for me. Something that like, gets shared to like, all my Facebook and Twitter celebrity accounts and whatnot, and
Okay, then with reduces difficulty by what? What's the enchanting voice, Marianne?
It reduces the difficulty by 2.
Yeah, but it's not a difficulty of 5, so it wouldn't matter.
Okay.
So
Yeah. Okay.
you got 4 successes.
Okay, that's good. Yeah, with 4 successes, the message will go out, and you deliver a very impassioned message to your base, and you'll start seeing the likes going up on your YouTube video real quickly, and the message board is gonna say, basically, oh, I can't wait to be there. Yes, so exciting. You got them rallied up.
Oh yeah, that's what I do.
You see, Stephanie will kind of shake her empty glass or cup to Rex, looking for a refill.
I snap my fingers over for one of the help to satiate her thirst.
Well, we have the circuses soon to be paraded around. Let's talk infrastructure, Rex. We need a temple. You mentioned this. Holy sites, places of pilgrimage for our fellow Sabbat.
Yes, myself and my doctors have decided on a temple. We have taken one of the synagogues of the city.
That is good. And what safeguards have you placed around it?
We are still making ourselves comfortable. It'll be some time before it'll be ready for other Sabbat members, especially since my ductus seems preoccupied as of late. Most of the effects have fallen onto me.
That tends to happen when your ductus rises into a position of greater authority. All those behind him come with.
Yes, I just wish there was an abbot in my pack. So much easier.
Why don't you just embrace someone capable of the position?
As soon as I find one.
Let's see. Well, Stephanie's going to tell you that while she is thankful for you allowing her to stay, she doesn't want to be she doesn't want to live under you, basically.
Please, it
So
hasn't even been 3 nights. Make yourself comfortable. Acclimatize yourself to Detroit. It is It is not like Montreal.
Oh, I understand, and I do not wish to be rude, but I wouldn't
Thank you
mind
for
going
accepting
out.
my hospitality then.
Hmm?
I said thank you for accepting my hospitality then, since you do not wish to be rude.
Of course. But I will have to find some place eventually. I thought maybe it'd be nice to just go out window shopping, as they say.
You are free to do whatever you wish. On the fourth night, I expect you to find your own residence more appealing. Until then, feel free to use everything at my disposal.
Rex, tell me, what neighborhood are we in?
Actually, we're in a gated community.
Hmm.
We're on the outlines of Detroit, far away from the problems of the inner city.
Have you gotten to know your neighbors well?
Unfortunately, there were a few visitations from my Bradovich friend, so I have had to do my best with the neighbors to believe that we have eccentric family members, and I've been trying my best not to disturb that delicate balance. So I have not been as a loving, gracious host as I would wish to be.
It's not about you being gracious as a host, and more so that you should start to dominate the realm around you.
Yes, I am still eking towards mastery of the Koldunic arts. Dominate is on my list, but it is not the first to 10, so it will be some time before I have it ready on my lips.
There are many paths to power, and since it will be incumbent upon me to establish my own base, I need to find an area of the city that would welcome my presence, if you understand.
For you, I would recommend a more private establishment, considering your lack of appearance. There are those on paths that unnerve other human cattle. Your appearance as it stands, they would ready torches and pitchforks before they started screaming.
Mm.
It would be wise for the bishop to live long enough to give out orders.
Yes, well, I don't have quite the public graces anymore. Which does remind me, when it comes to the matters of occult, where does the city stand now? I remember a loss of a library of sort.
Yes, it was burned to cinders along with the church, which was the stronghold of the city, the public stronghold for all Sabbat members. It was burned down, I believe, by Monroe. Am I correct in that, or do I have to make an intelligence roll to fix that flub?
I think that's pretty much general news.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So it was a Sabbat member that destroyed it. It was a general Sabbat member, not of the higher statuses.
That is quite a shame. Who else in the city are spiritually minded?
There is a Tremere among us. And you know my opinion of such things.
We share the same.
I am glad you still have the same ire. There were those who practiced necromancy, but they seem to have fled the city, fear of some kind of punishment or inability to withstand a test of pain. The details to me are fuzzy, but they seem oddly simplistic.
Hmm. Who was the other who was the other necromancer?
I can't remember his name. He was the one who used to be the librarian, and when he summoned a Death Lord to something about not binding it properly. I do not know the ways of necromancy or the necrotic arts or any of the death magics, so these all are alien words in my mouth that I struggle to try to use properly. So forgive me if it seems jagged and disconnected.
Oh, don't apologize on behalf of someone else's failures.
I'm not apologizing for their failures. I'm apologizing for my lack of understanding on what they did that was so wrong.
Hmm.
There's nothing worse than a half-truth in the Sabbat.
Hmm. That is understandable. And what about the very fighting force of the city? Where does that stand?
Scattered, mostly. Rarely comes together. Thin cohesion at best. Like a thin pool of water stretched across. You can see the skin almost bubble when it tries to move forward and back. I don't see how most of the paths operate, let alone how a crusade would be a defining win for the Sabbath at this moment. I haven't been to an SBOT in months because we haven't had one.
Hmm. I still have the rights of my own. I believe it is within my power to perform a perfunctory aspat in place of the Archbishop at any time, and it is the right of all Sabbat.
But the Archbishop is here, and so is the Priscus.
I need to have what they call a coming out party. I must make myself known to the other Sabbat. If you would be so kind to pass the message along, give it a week's time.
Oh, that reminds me. Please, come with me. I had some gifts prepared for such an event.
She nods. She'll tell Desdemona to come along with her, but leave her roadies behind.
Certainly.
We go up a spiral staircase. I open a pair of double doors, and there's just all of this pyro everything. Just
Pyro everything.
pyro everything. Like just anything that would be used for pyrotechnics, anything that would be good for a bonfire, anything that would be good for fire dances. Like if you want it to burn and not explode, it's in this room.
Hmm.
Anything below a military grade flamethrower tank is here.
You see your sire's eyes sparkle. It's like, for me.
All for you. And the sooner you can take it out of my abode, the better.
Do you see? We are one in mind. Like I said, I need to go window shopping for a place.
I'm glad I have given you inspiration. And I hope this gives you incentive.
Mm. I'm going to need somewhere deep enough, below ground, with a facade that won't betray what comes natural to the Sabbat.
It almost sounds like you want the sewers.
Hmm. Yes, the sewers.
It's probably simple enough. I I don't think they have that much security in this city for the sewers. You could probably just go down there and convince the Nosferatu that you would like some abode.
Oh, who are the Nasratu of the city?
I wouldn't know. I've only met the Archbishop.
Hmm.
But considering you know the Archbishop, I imagine that would give you a great headway.
But you do remember the Archbishop is Nasratu no more.
Yes, but he would know the other Nosferatu.
Hmm. That is true. I'll have a talk with him and see if I can impress myself upon our Nosferatu brothers and sisters.
And if that does not work, by all means, take the sub-basement.
My child, I wouldn't dare ask you to open your haven to any and all Sabbat to romp around in. I know you better than that.
Any and all Sabbat. You are not just my sire, even though that carries much weight to me for very personal reasons. Your status and what you have done for the Sabbat are quite noteworthy. It would be foolish of any Sabbat member to let you wander into needless danger when you could be provided what you do best.
I thank you for the compliments, but you're concerned with me finding a haven. I need a place to work. A place to work upon the souls of our brothers and sisters. A place where they can feel free to come and experience the blessings of Cain.
Well, we have some time before her concert begins. Why not roll around the city? Maybe something will strike you proper.
That is a good idea.
Do you have a particular part of the city that you would like to start?
Somewhere desolate. If not lacking in scenery, at least where life is barren.
Perhaps some sort of industrial area?
I know where there is barely any life and the air runs like water. Perhaps we will meet Jim Jim on the way there.
A packmate of yours?
Yes, a brother.
This is good that you have friends. Well, show me the way.
I guess we get into my armored SUV and we drive off to around where Jim Jim's Haven is, because Jim Jim's Haven is where nightmares come to die. Still making that teddy bear, by the way, so.
Say what?
He's still making that teddy bear, by the way.
Oh, God, I don't even know anything about what's going on with that teddy bear. So
8 feet tall and most of its mouth.
uh, that's great.
Grapple Diablerie win. Best turn ever. But yeah, we drive farther out and there's less trees, there's less grass, there's less asphalt, there's less gravel, and it almost starts to look like ruins. Like everything has been abandoned. Like a ghost town was here, but it was bombed out and covered in rust. And then a little bit deeper on, where the wild animals start to just die in the middle of anywhere.
Oh, roadkill. Nice.
Not even roadkill, like just I think a bear ate that wild dog. That's why there's like half of its carcass in the middle of the road.
I have to shoot my next music video here.
Oh, one of those words will definitely happen here.
Let's see. And okay. Stephanie nods. This can work. This can work. Some of the buildings are too shelled out, but I think I can find a way to have it refurbished.
Yes, Jim has a problem with windows.
Oh, are we looking directly at his haven?
Oh God, no. Like I would leave you guys out of the car and drive back home if we went that close.
Okay.
It's just my sire. I don't love her that much.
I got you. Okay. God, what's really just a side comment. I forget that her sets are from the revised edition.
Right?
Well, I'm just noticing that there's just some things she has that aren't even usable now in the V20 edition. Whatever.
Give her the equivalent or whatever they changed it to.
She would have an athletics of 6 then.
There you go.
Anyway, she's looking outside the car, and she turns to you and says, "Do you feel like doing a little bit of exploring?"
Surely. Desdemona,
Yes.
do you know how to use a firearm?
Yeah, I have some. I go to the shooting range occasionally.
Here is a shotgun. Please shoot at things that look at you strangely or make loud noises.
Can do. It's my favorite thing to do with a gun.
Hopefully the gangrels and werewolves won't be too loud tonight. Yes, that is something you'll have to worry about, Detroit. Almost every band of supernatural seems to be here.
There are werewolves in this area?
Defining it as an area is very difficult. I don't have that kind of knowledge. I also don't know about the changelings and the mages, but I can direct you to some of their stores.
Yes, you have a business account there.
More so, I was told very gently to get the fuck out of their store before they burn me alive. But yes, we could call it that for now.
Let's see. Well, you see Steph get out of the car. And it's odd because you feel like your sire's in a. She's in like almost one of those artistic moments when she's seeing everything in her head and putting it out there. You know, she just has that kind of look. She starts moving over to this husk shell of a building. You could probably gather that it used to be like a parts and warehouse kind of building, but it's looked kind of decrepit. Like most of the windows are out, even the doors have been like taken off their hinge. Mostly everything is just brick and mortar. Most of the other fixings have been stripped out. She'll go into the building and just looks around. And I like this. I like this a lot. Somehow I need to fit it into my grand scheme, but...
You're about to see some teaching here today.
Oh, sorry, one second.
Seems like the advertisements wanted us that badly.
Yeah, sorry about that. Jesus Christ.
Capitalism came a knocking.
It did.
Shotgun.
It did. Alright, well, yeah, so I guess you guys are following her, right?
Yes.
Yeah, we're following.
When she comes into, well, again, when she comes into the building, you also find, she notices a very large kind of, I don't want to say it's a grate, but it's actually a hole where the grate has been taken off, and it looks like it's been, how do I put this? It's been, the fixings for the grate for the safety protection, so people just don't fall, has already been ripped off too. But you can see that there's a stair, like a ladder that leads down. And so what you're going to presume are the tunnels. She'll look at Rex and just ask you if you don't mind getting dirty.
Oh. I'll just buy a new suit.
I'm wearing leather, so I ain't gotta worry about anything. She'll start to climb down. She'll say that maybe we can get, like, maybe hopefully in this area we could start planning out where to bring all the toys that you bought her.
Okay.
Well, all right. You get inside. It takes you just a few minutes, and you get inside. And why don't you all roll me your awareness, your alertness perceptions?
Lawrence, can you roll me 3 dice, please?
I got nothing, and does that count as a botch? 0 successes and a 1?
Yeah.
How many dice do you have, Liz? Liz?
3.
Okay. You have a success.
Okay. Liz, what you hear like a ruffling sound. Sounds like something's moving down there, and does everyone hear it?
Does it sound like big, small? Like is it moving quickly, or?
With one success, I'm going to say that you only hear the movement. Uh, but you'll see Stephanie just like turn around to you and go like, "Shh." Sounds like something big is over there. She's heard it a little bit better. And
I guess I'm gonna like point the shotgun in that general area towards the sound.
Stephanie's gonna look at Rex. Well, why don't you go first? You're supposed to be a gentleman.
As you wish. Slosh, 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 floop, floop, floop.
You're not being quiet about it, I guess.
You try to be quiet in an armored suit.
You're in an armored suit. Okay.
Hell yeah, I'm wearing a bulletproof suit. If you had millions of dollars, you'd invest in that too.
That is true. Let's see. All right. As you're going along, you're trying. You can make another awareness check because you hear that its movement has stopped.
I did not botch this time.
Botched. Okay.
No, I didn't botch. I got 0 successes. I didn't botch.
Okay. So you recognize that like whatever was moving, it stopped, but you don't really know where it's gone.
And Liz botched.
How do you botch listening? I don't know how to describe that.
Roll 3, 2, 1. It was a botch.
Yeah, no, I know. I'm just saying, like, how do I, the storyteller, describe like how you botched hearing something?
You hear something that isn't there. If you're in danger, you hear that you're safe.
That's true. All right. I guess Liz, you hear noise from the opposite direction.
Is it like off down a tunnel or?
You think it's coming from above? That there's someone where you guys came from. Like to you, it sounds like someone's coming from behind you guys.
I guess I point my gun in that direction, and I'm obviously like, I guess, anxious, about like what's happening.
Yeah. Stephanie's gonna ask Rex if he's ever been in the tunnels.
I've been in some of the tunnels, but not in this area. Mine was more in a ghoulish army base. Which is another problem the bishop should probably know about.
Which is?
There are humans that know our condition and are using it to their advantage.
You see Stephanie like stop and almost like put her hand on your shoulder to like turn you around and give you that look like, are you fucking serious?
Yes. They're part of the U.S. Army.
You have been tackling the army here?
We've been shooting them.
Yeah, so Stephanie's kind of like mouth is open like, what? Like, holy shit. And they haven't retaliated?
Remember when I mentioned Jim?
Mm-hmm.
He's very effective.
She seems impressed. Like, wow. That's when you'll hear a voice echo through the sewer. Oh, yes. That was a good old time against those army boys. Good to see you again, Rex. Been a long time. And out from the shadows, you'll see this man.
It's good to see you again. I appreciate a friendly face.
Didn't recognize you down there. Well, at first. But What brings you down here amongst my kind?
Well, believe it or not, my sire, Stephanie LaCroix, has an interest in the areas of the Nosferatu.
Oh, he kind of looks over his shoulder and sniffs the air. She smells nice and pretty. What is that, gasoline? Stephanie will kind of nod and smile. Mm. So I guess someone needs a little crash pad, something to spend the days away. And here, I thought you were so fancy and highfalutin. What happened? Lost something on the stock market?
Not yet, but I appreciate your faith.
Mm-mm-mm. Boy, that money's just gonna bring you down. It's gonna bring you down. But, c'est la vie. I'm sure Kane will provide. Anyhow, say, how have things been going on with those army boys? I haven't heard a word from the Archbishop lately.
Imagine that. Well then, if you don't know, I would like to do what the Nosferatu do best. Barter secrets.
You see Freddy kind of rub his chin. Oh? What do you got to barter, son?
Well, you don't know the condition or the placement of the Archbishop, correct?
That is correct.
I do. Beyond a shadow of a doubt.
Now, if you think that kind of knowledge is worth something, that must mean his condition, his placement must be far from what it used to be. Alright, I'll buy it, but what do you want in exchange?
Well, considering this is my first attempt, I believe you would be fair enough to help me set the conditions so that I do not offend you. I don't want to presume too much. And after all, this is between friends.
But of course, we're all brothers and sisters in Kane.
I'm glad we still see eye to eye on that. So, what would you say is a fair condition?
Hmm.
There must be some things you're willing to part with.
Oh, yeah, there is something that comes to mind, and I thought, maybe I should just let a few folks know. It would seem unseemly and unpatriotic if I just kept it all to myself. Well, considering that the Archbishop is a man who likes to dabble with some dark forces, that I do know for sure. What if I told you that certain high priest back from time long ago in the city made off with a few relics and books that some individuals like you and I would deeply appreciate to have back into the fold?
Are you talking about that book that had all of the Sabbat rituals in it?
That is one of them. And it's only rumor that he made off with it. I mean, there was a large collection, and God only knows how he moved it all so fast. I wouldn't be surprised if maybe it got left behind, but whatever that could be retrieved from his library, that would be good for all of us.
Well, if I will get you 10 on that, the Inquisitors are looking for it.
What What is your opinion of the Inquisition?
My opinion of the Inquisition and the Black Hand are that I am part of the Order of St. Blaise and do not wish to offend either of them.
Hmm. They have their purposes and their services. I suppose an old choir boy like myself has a little bit of a bias towards the Inquisition. I think their cause is righteous and noble. But at the same time, blood and steel is what makes the war wheels turn.
This is very true. The Inquisition has people who are willing to die for what they believe in. I intend to live.
Cain has a plan for all of us. So,
Yeah.
I can give you the name of this chap. His name was Craig Rubin. And last I heard, he was passing through Windsor. I know we got a couple of boys up there. Ain't like it was back some months ago. But maybe that's why he's made a sudden move. You and your boys could probably find him there.
I'll do my best to let my doctors know of this new opportunity for him to claim glory and status again. But a deal's a deal. The Archbishop is alive.
Well, that's good. That's good. It does my Nosferatu heart proud to hear that he is still alive.
He's in the city.
Why hasn't he made himself known to us? I feel that's kind of strange. Not very friendly-like.
A very astute observation. It's almost like he's not family anymore.
Now, come on, partner. If you know something, just spit it.
That is something you want to see out of his mouth with his new face.
New face. What in tarnations? Oh, maybe he was just using that mask some of us have. Is that what he's doing now? Parading around like he's all normal folk with skin?
This isn't a mask. This isn't a trick. This certainly is not under the disciplines of King.
I thought that boy was proud of his hideousness. Distasteful. Speaking of tasteful, what's that thing you got behind you there with the shotgun?
Hi.
It speaks. Why does it speak?
Well, she is the property of my sire.
Oh, I see. I see. Well, Stephanie, good to make your acquaintance and that of your property.
Now,
Stephanie. What were you gonna say?
I would like to do one more on you. Because I don't think you're going to believe this.
Oh.
The exact nature of what has happened to the Archbishop.
What has befallen him?
Well, I could tell you, but that would be quite a price.
All right. Name it. He says name it.
How would you like to have safe passage throughout the city with the Nosferatu.
Safe passage.
Yeah, as long as she stays here. To the end of the Nosferatu's days.
Now, does that necessarily mean that we get to have passage above ground safely?
You know I'm just a priest. I can't make that happen.
To presume that we aren't safe now would be to presume there's a threat already ahead of us.
Come now. Every one of the Cainites know that passing through Nosferatu territory is not a safe proposition. Offending any one of them can lead to the end of a Cainite as just and as right as any monomacy.
And
An archbishop come down here and try to tell you what to do and who to be.
that would go against his own interest, being that he is one of us. Unless I'm starting to understand he ain't no more one of us.
Like I said, deal's a deal. My sire wants the underground. Look at her. She already fits the part.
And, Miss Stephanie, why is it that you have chosen the sewers to take up your residence? And she'll explain. Because, my child, there are horrors in the night that must be kept away from the mortal eyes, but that would feed the soul of our fellow Sabbat. I like the way you put that. Sure, we can be neighbors. That's not a problem. So long as we can, pass through here when we need to. It's a kind of railway system, if you catch my drift. And she'll nod.
I'm glad we understand each other. Stephanie, do you have everything that you wanted?
She'll say that, maybe another night she'll just come down and, map the area out. She'll, speak with Freddy. They'll kind of like arrange a tour of sorts, and you'll hear them also like. She'll kind of tell him like the kind of plan she has for the architecture, and they'll go back and forth for a little bit. Freddy will say like, "Oh yeah, I know some people that can get down here and build stuff like that." But yeah, essentially in the end, Freddy will go.
Perfect. Freddy,
Hmm.
in the interest of full disclosure, since we're friends, I want you to know something. I want you to be very careful who you tell.
Well, I'm listening.
Very good. The Archbishop, tortured by the Inquisition, they had me and Stephanie take all of our energy to bring him back from the brink. They couldn't be bothered to find somebody who could. We had to go all the way out to find him. While the Inquisition was over our shoulders the whole time, when we finally got him back, fully healed, everything back together, awake, on his own terms, he looked as human as when we used to get tan. The Archbishop, he's not a Nosferatu anymore. And according to him, that was his decision.
You will, I don't know if you could tell on Freddy's face what an expression of anger actually looks like, but he'll,
If you don't believe me, that's fine, and take your time to make sure that I'm telling you the truth. But since we're friends, I figured you should know, especially since you're being so kind to my sire.
oh, I do appreciate the information, friend. That is worth the trade we've made. I'm just so disappointed in the Archbishop. I suppose me and him gonna need to have a conversation, but that'll be another time.
I expected nothing less.
Well, let me go relay this to the boys. I feel they may have some objections. You come back now here anytime, Steph. Rex and property girl over there. I don't know your name, but anyway, I got to go. And you see Freddy kind of just trail off into the night. Stephanie will turn to you and say, I kind of like him.
He is very nice when he gets what he wants.
Aren't we all? Well, we can get out of this swill water now. Apologies for your suit.
Oh, what's a couple thousand between friends?
Alrighty. With that being said, you guys can go about and do whatever business you want for the rest of the night.
Yes? Your performance?
Nothing gonna happen tonight, but I guess I'll just like go over the details of getting whatever I need to do to like get that event together, I suppose.
Let's see if roll her for songwriting. What would it be, charisma expression or intelligence expression?
Well, I imagine you'd have to know performance to really do it right, so intelligence performance?
Well, performing a song is one thing, but writing the song is another.
Yeah, that would probably be expression. But I don't know if it's as much intelligence as it is something like charisma or something.
Okay, so we'll make it charisma expression. Did you roll that for her?
That'll be 6.
6. Oop. 1, 2, 3 successes, and your enchanting voice wouldn't come into play here because it doesn't work like that.
Okay, so we'll say if before a week goes by, if you want to get on and make an extended roll again and accumulate more success for a better song and set for the big performance, you can. That's no problem. But just put down that you got 3 successes so far now.
All right, yeah, I'll do that.
Okay, cool.
The power of editing.
Huh?
I said the power of editing.
Yes, exactly. All right. Well, if that's all you guys want to do, we can end the scene.
Okay.
All right, cool. Ladies and gentlemen, thank you for watching. This was Detroit, The Dark Reflection. Stay tuned and tune in again. Have a good night.